The Seattle Seahawks host the San Francisco 49ers in week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. We get to see Sam Darnold and that mania magic we saw in Minnesota right away at home against a very feisty San Francisco team. Understand that they just signed their guy, Brock Purdy. They have so much faith in him to be the franchise quarterback. This kid has talent. We can understand all of that. When he has time to throw and he's got weapons around him, he is as good as anybody in the National Football League, save just a little bit of mobility. This is a matchup between two teams that will be vying for positioning within a very tough NFC West. The Cardinals are surging. Of course, the Los Angeles Rams are improved, if that's even possible, from a year ago on that defense. They got Adams instead of Cooper Kupp, and Jared Verse. Kobe Turner, that team has improved a whole lot. But the Seahawks, Emin Worry in the back end. If you're a San Francisco 49er fan, it is time that you know the name Nick Emin. This kid came over from South Carolina, and he is, the best way I can describe it is a Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor hybrid. He can cover, he can hit, he can run. 4.4 speed at 6'3", 225 pounds. On the other side of things for San Francisco, Hufanga's gone. Sharfarius Ward is gone. Drake Greenlaw is gone. Tebow Samuel gone. All of those pieces are gone, so that means they need to lean on Brandon Ayuk off of injury. Ricky Pearsall needs to turn into what they were expecting using a first-round pick out of him. They need Christian McCaffrey to stay healthy. If Christian McCaffrey is healthy, the 49ers can be a team easily making the playoffs. Going 10-7 is not whatsoever hard. This has been a team that went to 2 Super Bowls, that has been to 2 NFC Championship games in 4 of the last 6 seasons. The other 2, they missed the postseason. We need to see San Francisco take those steps. Can Brock Purdy be a quarterback when he doesn't have a Ferrari to drive, but something that's more like not a Honda Civic, like a Porsche, a nice car that drives very well. Maybe the gas mileage isn't great. You've got McCaffrey, who's been a bit banged up throughout seasons, but you've got a very good chance to have a good race, to drive very well, to have that thing stay intact. You know it's consistent. All that German engineering, those cars, maybe except for a BMW. Not as good of a car over the long term to have. But Seattle, we know about DK Metcalf leaving to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Tyler Lockett no longer there, so relying on Jackson Smith and Jigba to be the face. They got Cooper Kupp now from the rival Los Angeles Rams. They are going to be reliant very much so on Zachariah Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, the identity, Mike McDonald, the defensive coach, to run the football at a very high level. The San Francisco 49ers, very similar story. It's just Trent Williams. What will his health look like? Is he the same guy he has been for the past decade plus? San Francisco will be just fine at the left tackle spot, that offensive line. On the other side of him, who he's been practicing against, is Mykel Williams, the stud out of Georgia. If you haven't seen Mykel Williams play yet, there's still time before the season starts. Just look at his film. Just watch a game against Texas, either of the games against Texas from a year ago. He looks like the best player on the field alongside his other Bulldog teammate, Jalen Walker, who got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons there in the teens. This is a fun matchup because it is 2 teams that have a bunch of talent, that have quarterbacks that have won big games. They have both played very well when they have needed to. It's just Sam Darnold at the back stretch. In a win, get the 1st seed, or lose, you're the 5th seed game. Couldn't do anything in the red zone against Detroit. And then in that game against the Los Angeles Rams, he got sacked 9 times. What was Sam Darnold supposed to do? When I met him in Laguna Beach over the summer, I had a pretty brief conversation with him. I was asking Sam Darnold specifically about Cooper Kupp. They hadn't been in pads yet, but this is the type of guy that can change a bit of the culture. He can come in Cooper Kupp and establish a sense of a different level of pride, that you are not going to be getting the ball every play, but your effort needs to be. And it's like a lot of the coaches say, no block, no rock. This guy has been the best blocker. Him and Amon-Ra St. Brown, some of the best blockers in the NFL the last couple of seasons. So that physical identity, of course, we know that's what they have in Gray Zabel, the kid out of North Dakota State, who's supposed to be a very fundamental piece of that offensive line for years to come. That's why they drafted him so high in the 1st round, right there in the teens. This is a Seattle team that is expecting to win early. That's why they believe in Darnold, but if he is not able to be that guy, they've got Jalen Milroe, who they expect to be a developmental piece that they can bring in packages to use as that athlete on the field. It's funny that Darnold had been actually a San Francisco 49er for a little bit of time, that he could be that guy. Would have been a little bit cheaper, probably about $23 million less per year than Brock Purdy would have been. Who would be better off right now if the 49ers had Sam Darnold in this level, or Seattle with Sam Darnold right now? The 49ers of Brock Purdy. So it's very interesting to see that level of play from the quarterbacks. Which quarterback plays better? I am leaning on Sam Darnold to have the better outing in this game. I have a bit more confidence in him and what that receiving core is and that identity. There's so many missing parts. There's no Dre Greenlaw. I didn't even mention him for San Francisco. There's so many guys that have been gone, and that San Francisco's leaning on a little bit more of the youngsters. They're trying to figure out who they will be going forward in the future, whereas Seattle, they know pretty well. They got the new quarterback, but Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, very similar talent levels, veteran quarterbacks that aren't going to lead you astray. They're not going to give away a game. They're not always going to go out there and be stellar, but they're going to throw for 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. That's about the average stat line they're going to have. Run for about a first down or two, 18, 19 yards rushing, use the legs and navigate around the pocket when they need to, find guys down the field, winning 9, 8, 9, 10 football games this season. That's about what it seems like to take that next step. So 22-17 is what I have. Seattle beating San Francisco. Overall, the outlook for both of these teams is tough. That is a division where it's going to be very hard to be over 500. I mean, just to win 3 games is tough. Each of those teams has such talent. The Cardinals and what they invested on defense, of course, we know about Marvin and McBride, and Kyler Murray's still a threat in the Rams. We talked about all the weapons Stafford has and improved defense. So this is why this week 1 game is so important, to get off to that hot start, to play very well going forward, so that the rest of your season can be something that you can go forward. Like you have San Francisco at the Saints, very winnable week 2, and then the Cardinals. Whereas Seattle, you don't want to lose and then be staring down the barrel of a road game at Heinz Field against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But let me know down below in the comments what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? We'll find out if I'm right or I'm wrong once the game is played. But whether you agree or disagree with me down below in the comments. So please subscribe for more content in the future. Love talking about the NFC West. This thing is the Wild West in 2025. I don't know exactly who's going to come out on top, leaning towards the Rams, but a whole lot of talent, good coaching, and fun football to watch. So please subscribe for more football content throughout the season, NFL, college previews, breakdowns, predictions, live streams, all of that and more with Blitz with Blender. Thank you for watching. Best player in college football. That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blender, hi everybody, I'm Josh Blender. To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa.